love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home.
I'm drank up and I'm banked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it. I'm drank up and I'm danked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it, you elevate it.
I came over, I ain't sober, I'm still drunk, that's hangover. Might run it back when this page over. You the best thing I done slaved over. Gon' arch you back and been way over. It's overdue for that under-stressing. Over him, now you underdressing. Call me up and I come finessing. Like, ooh, we shot it, what it do, what it don't. Baby, you a queen, you can move how you want. You was rocking with me when I couldn't stay afloat. They ain't never saying nothing wavy to a boat. Like, eyes up, look at me, now I'm the captain. Brought the camera, time for action. Split the legs just like a fraction. Tuck the napkin, time for snacking. You a mother meal. Tell me that it's mine, baby, tell me that it's real. Hit it to the max, well, tell me how it feel. It's gonna be a minute, cause I'm in it for the thrill. Make her feel like heaven, she gon' put me in the wheel. And willingly, I wanna do anything she wanna do. I ain't even wanna boo, but this is what the karma do. It's hard to be apart from you, cause ooh, I
love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home.
I'm drank up and I'm danked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it. I'm drank up and I'm danked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it, you elevate it, you.
twisted around your finger like a piece of string. I'm winded, chasing after your ghost is real exhausting. I'm in love, but I don't think it's what I thought it was supposed to be. Love story, no guts and no glory. How did I get so dizzy thinking of you? I don't usually get like this. It's something about you I miss. Could it be we never had that kiss? Well, I don't usually get like this. 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 Reminded of how I met you, tried to catch you falling. Instead I fell off myself and I just can't stop falling. These wings are gonna flap for me if I keep waiting. Keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting. How did I get so dizzy thinking of you? I don't usually get like this. I don't get like it's something about you I miss. Could it be we never had that kiss? I just wanna kiss you. Well, I don't usually get like this. Get like this. Get like this. No. Me not, this bouquet is all I got. I'm dreaming, or could it be a future for you and me? She loves me, I know it's true, or maybe I'm the fool for you. I don't usually get like this. It's something about you I miss. Could it be we never had that kiss? Yeah, I don't usually get like this. Get like this. Oh, get like this. No, get like this. Yeah, get like this. Get like this.
Feel like falling deeper. Colder nights 난 너무 싫어. 기다리기에는 너무 길어. 줬던 내 사랑이 식어. 기대만 하는 것도 난 힘들어. No, I can't, just can't. 가져 내 맘을, 놔줘 내 가슴을 다 바쳐 사랑하기엔 내 자신이 너무 걱정돼. 바보 같은 생각이야. 알아 멍청해. 상상만으로도 좋은 상상만으로도 힘든 이중적인 면을 가지고 있어. 사랑이라는 걸. Oh yeah. Baby, can't you come with me? Can't you hold my hand and 가는 방향이 어딘지 서로 궁금해져 버려 애써 맘 졸여 하늘만 보면서 언제쯤 알게 될까 너도 나와 같은 생각을 하고 있을까 한참을 멍하니 보다 보니 살짝 어두워진 색깔 불그스름한 노을의 때깔 상상만으로도 좋은 상상만으로도 힘든 이중적인 면을
You broke my heart a million times. Can't count the times I made you cry. Oh, we're such a mess now, and we're burning out. I get so sad at the thought of losing you.
Mic check 1 2.
Losing you. I can't
We always do the mic check.
thought of losing you.
We always do the mic check. Gotta make sure everything is running right.
Perfect as the day goes by.
Let's go.
Even the worst ones hate, they make me smile.
They make me
I
smile.
stop the world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out, to work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. Oh, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. Can we be honest? You're my comfort zone.
Yes.
Whatever I say, don't let me go.
Don't let me
I
go.
know you're angry, babe, and I am cold. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. You're still perfect as
Welcome
the
back.
day goes by. Even the worst ones hate, they make me smile. I stop the world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. To work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. Oh, yeah, to work things out, 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 to work things out.
And we are back. Welcome, everybody, to another chapter of Rich People Read, where we read a book a month to instruct you in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. Good morning, Drea. How are you? Good morning, Drea. How are you, love? Let's get ready to do this. This is a short chapter, Drea. It's only 4 pages and we're done for the day. It's only 4 pages and we are done for the day. I appreciate everybody for being here. This is Rich People Read, where we read a book. Excuse me. Long night. Where we read a book a month to instruct you in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. We read books that pertain to 2 main subjects, 2 macro subjects: entrepreneurship and relationships. And the micro of those 2 macros spreads out amongst a lot of different topics. Right now, we're reading a book called How to Be a Stoic. little known tips on how to cut through distractions and desires to become a better human being. How to cut through the bullshit of life to get you to where you want to go quickly and swiftly. I appreciate you guys being here. Today we're reading chapter 6, Learning the Stoic Mastery of Emotions. I think this is going to be a chapter that a lot of women should want to pay attention to. Yes, it is. It's a nice day today, isn't it, Drea? Drea's out here in Los Angeles with me. Drea is out here in Los Angeles with me, and it is warm and sunny. I'm wearing shorts, some Air Force Ones, t-shirt. This is how we get down in Los Angeles. Really, I could wear this all year long. I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to jump right into it. I want everybody to please type the word salute in the chat. Just type the word salute in the chat. And if you do that, you'll be entered into win a gift card, because we do a gift card giveaway at the end of every live. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. All right. I appreciate you guys. Let's get ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be a quick one, Drea. We're going to be in and out. What is this? We are, 17 minutes in. I think this whole show is going to be no longer than 30 minutes. We're probably going to be done in 15 minutes. We're going to be done in 15 minutes. I'm going to cut back on my monologues over here at Rich People Read and start doing a lot of the talking points and monologal, the monologish stuff over at High Value Shan, where we have another show coming up tonight. So I appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and move over to our read train. Without further ado, we don't have that many people here today. You know, they always trickle in right around when I get to the end of the book. It's okay, though, because the people that read this or listen to this podcast on the replays find a lot of value in what we talk about. Everybody's at work. It's a lot of people at work right now. It's not like the pandemic years where everybody was home in lockdown and stay at home, right? People have to work these days. So let's go ahead and get started. I appreciate you. Hush, Drea. Hush. Hey, Lakeisha. Lakeisha is here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. What up? The Patriarch Strikes Back. Drop the link. He says, we're not doing, this is not an open panel, Patriarch, but it is an open panel tonight for the High Value Shan podcast. The one tonight, just go to my channel and you'll see it right at the top. It's coming up tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can pull up there for sure. I enjoy. I have people call in. That's a call-in show. Everybody type salute in the chat, and we're going to go ahead and get started, and then I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Chapter 6 of How to Be a Stoic talks about learning the Stoic mastery of emotions. A popular misconception about Stoics is that they are emotionless. Sidebar. I mean, this book always on the first sentence always hits me kind of hard. Makes me want. I've done a sidebar at the first sentence for most of all the shows. A popular misconception about Stoics is that they are emotionless. I've been accused of having less emotions than most. Less emotions than most. The Patriarch Strikes Back says Stoicism is cap, my guy. I beg to differ. But you haven't been here for the entirety of this book, so you'd have to listen to me read most of this book to understand that Stoicism isn't cap, and it is in fact facts. It is in fact facts. It's a way of life, and it's a way that I tend. Now, would I call myself a Stoic personally? No, I would say that I live a lot of the Stoic philosophies. I don't know that I would walk around. I don't really classify myself as anything. I don't like to really identify with any individual particular thing because I want to be fluid in how I move. I may agree with some parts of something and no parts of something else. You know, that goes with politics, that goes with religion, and it also goes with living philosophies like Stoicism. But to just blankly call it cap, that's bullshit. I can tell you that right now. You could just read the last chapter and learn that that's bullshit. So right now we're talking about the mastery of emotions. So tell me this. Here's a challenge for the Patriarchy Strikes Back. The Patriarchy Strikes Back says that Stoicism is cap. This is only 4 pages that we're getting ready to read. Hang out with us right here. Hang out with us right here. The Patriarchy Strikes Back. Read these 4 pages with us. This is going to be 15 minutes. I'll be done. And then you tell me if what I read, you tell me because I haven't read this chapter. I've never read this. We read these books together at the same time. You tell me what I'm getting ready to read, if what I'm reading is bullshit. And if you believe what I'm getting ready to read in these next 4 pages is bullshit, I'll concede. I have a reason to believe it's not, but you let me know. What up, Thomas? Okay, cool. Thomas, you left the Bluetooth. You know, that's like going to the gym, Thomas. You ever gone to the gym and you forget your fucking headphones? It ruins the entire workout. Your entire workout is ruined because you forgot your fucking earbuds at the house. So go grab them. Hey, Missy T. Hey, LaRonda. Glad you guys are here. We're getting ready to get started with chapter 6, learning the Stoic mastery of emotions. And I've been accused of being emotionalist in a lot of ways in relationships, because I believe that facts are facts, data is data, and the truth doesn't care about how I feel about a particular thing, how I want things to be and how they actually are in reality doesn't always coincide. And so which one do I roll with? Oftentimes I have to roll with for me, every time I have to roll with reality. Not what I feel or want. Like if there's a woman that I'm dealing with and I want her to be a certain way and I'm hoping that she'd be a certain way and my emotions are telling me that she could potentially be a certain way. The fact is she ain't that way. So I got to deal with the reality of it. It's crazy, right? Anyways, let's go. A popular misconception about Stoics is that they are emotionalists. Like the fictional Vulcans from Star Trek, Stoics go about feeling no anger or sadness, adhering only to the reason or as the Vulcans put it, logic. When you think about it, this is silly. Of course, Stoics have emotions. We just know that they need to be controlled if we want to be happy. Stoicism is all about control. Think about the impact that your emotions have had over you. Throughout life, there has been many times when being nervous may have led to failing an important job interview. Maybe breaking up with your boyfriend or breaking up with your girlfriend made you mopey and unproductive or worse. Maybe your temper, ladies, your temper has gotten you into trouble. This is something that you need to put a stop to. You will not be successful in life if you don't learn how to master yourself and control your own emotions, period. That is a bar. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to put that on the screen. I'm going to copy that from this book. I'm going to come over here because I have to. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to put that on the screen. I've been saying that for years. They just said something that I've been saying for years. In fact, I have a mentee right now who is not doing as well as they potentially could, as they could in life, because emotions are out of control. Hold on one second. There we go. Let's make it a little smaller. Let's do half the size of that. And I'm going to put this right here in the corner. I'm going to leave that up for the entire time. Oh, it's covering my face a little bit. Let me There we go. You will not be successful in life if you don't learn how to master yourself and control your own emotions. Period. Period. I wonder, does the Patriarchy Strikes Back believe in that? He says that Stoicism is capped. Now, before you protest, we aren't talking about bottling up your emotions or ignoring your feelings, you guys. That's not what we're talking about. That's not healthy. A Stoic learns to control their emotions by mentally taking a step back before making rash decisions. Sounds easy, doesn't it? It's not easy at all, but it's worth it. You start by developing the habit of distancing yourself when a strong emotion occurs. You need to learn to do this just long enough to ask yourself if your impulse action will serve you in a negative or a positive way. Emotions have a way of shrinking the wide world into the size of a small tunnel, much like blinders on a horse. You ever seen a horse? They put those blinders on to make sure the horse is going one way and is not distracted by the things to the left or the right of them. They have to put the blinders on. They make you only see one way forward when reason certainly begs to differ. There are always a number of ways to proceed and certainly less destructive ones. Let's go into some practical examples, starting with anger. Anger, ladies, anger. Some of us have what could be politely called a temper. If someone wakes you up too early, criticizes you, bumps into you at work while, in the break room, or even seems to be looking at you funny, your first reaction is to get aggressive with them. Maybe you throw it out as sarcasm, or your mind instantly jumps to the need for physical aggression. Sidebar, I saw there was a prank video. Have you guys ever saw that prank video where it was a dude that walked up to people on the street? And he dressed like a little gangster, and he walked up and he didn't say nothing to him. He just walked up to him. It was a camera recording from a distance, and the dude it'd be just like a dude just chilling on the sidewalk, waiting for the bus, and a dude would walk up and get in his face like this. He kept a little distance, maybe 3-4 feet, but he just walk up on him like this. And he had the mic on. Dude was like, and the guy he walked up on was like, "What's up, bro? Like, can I help you?" And he didn't say nothing to him. No words. He just walked up on him. It was a prank video. He just looking at him up and down. As if to say, like, "What's up, cuz? Like, what set you from?" Like, basically trying to, but he didn't say anything. He just walked up and was just like, the thing is, almost everybody in the video ended up attacking the guy. It'd be like, "Well, what you want to do, bro?" People was putting their phones away and shit, putting their bag. What's up, Holmes? What's up? What you staring at me for? What the fuck? Next thing you know, the dude was getting attacked. He never said a single word to the people that he was walking up on. All he did was go up in their face, square up with them, ball his fists up, and look at them. Strangers on the street. I think it was LA. And look at them. And then people put their phone away and was like, "What's up, man? What you want? Can I help you? Man, what's up, man? Like, what's up?" And people was getting upset. And then within typically 20 seconds, they were chasing his ass down the street, attacking him, hitting him, throwing shit at him. And he never said a single word. Imagine that if somebody walked up to you while you're standing in line at Starbucks and just mean mugged you all up in your face, looking dead at you, eye to eye. It's not like they're looking past you. They're looking dead at you, and they just looking at you like this. Now, I'm speaking to men particularly because women would probably be afraid. But men, brothers, men, imagine a dude just walk up to you and was like, and he's a little bit smaller than you. He's not bigger than you. He's a little smaller. So you already sized him up. You figure you can knock him the fuck out. And that's what happened. But the thing is, he got attacked. And so like the book says, where did it go? Your first reaction is to get aggressive with them. Some people have what we politely call a temper. If someone wakes you up too early, you're upset and you pissed off at them. Someone criticizes you. You pissed off that they telling you about yourself. Somebody bumps into you at work. "Damn, man, excuse you," is what you say. Or even seems to be looking at you funny, like I just explained in the prank video. Your first reaction is to get aggressive with them. Maybe you throw it out as sarcasm, or your mind instantly jumps, as the video did, to the need for physical aggression. You see, as a Stoic, though, my friends, hey, Heather, good morning. You will want to get in the habit of counting slowly in your mind before letting someone else control you, like this dude in the video did. He clearly took control of everybody that he stared at. Nobody had self-control. This is what it is, too, if you let your temper decide the issue. Ultimately, you are letting someone else control your actions. Worse, there are certain kinds of people who will recognize this, and they will seek to control you through your temper. You need to take control. First, hold on. Where's my page at? First, when that acid response comes to your mind, ask yourself, how does this serve me? How does this serve me? It feels good in the wrong answer, and one could lead to jail if you aren't careful. In Disclosures, Epictetus states that when someone criticizes you or does you wrong, quote unquote, then you should not be offended, you guys. If somebody criticizes you or does you wrong, you should not be offended. Simply because this person is doing what they think is right. They don't know any better. He also tells us that if someone criticizes you and the criticisms are correct, they criticize you and the criticism that you're receiving is correct, then you should not be angry, but instead be grateful. After all, they have told you how to improve something that is close to your heart. The most important thing to remember about anger is that it is a passionate energy that you must use or be used by. Anger is a passionate energy that you must use or be used by. If your anger is of the violent kind, consider enrolling in a martial arts class. This will let you harness the beast at the same time you are learning to control it. Insults are another good example. An insult, like, we all know sign language, right? Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. The I of sign language, which I thought was sidebar. Here's the sidebar. I thought BGS Idmore was the originator. He created sign language, but in fact, he just created SGN. BGS told me in a podcast, he said the other day that Kevin Samuels added the I. So SGN, shame, guilt, and the need to be right. Kevin Samuels added the I. I thought BGS had the entire acronym. But Kevin added the I and created shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. And it created the whole phrase sign language. Shout out to BGS Idmore and shout out to Kevin Samuels. But insults, the I of sign language, is another good example. An insult can hurt you an insult cannot hurt you guys. Somebody talks shit about you, somebody laughs at you, somebody jokes on you. It cannot hurt you unless you allow it to. Socrates was quite famous for ignoring all of his insults. I have insulted you, someone would say, to which he would reply, a lot of good may it do you. A good way to respond to insults is self-deprecating humor. This gives you a way to respond without sinking into the insulter's level. It also gets you in the habit of distancing yourself from the impulse to insult them right back. Insults often come as a surprise, right? It's out of the blue. Much like good old anger. And so conditioning yourself by employing self-deprecating humor is a good step towards self-control. If someone says you're ugly, what up, Sherwin? Sherwin. If someone says, Sherwin, you're ugly. Sherwin, you are ugly. If somebody tells you that, right? You can simply respond, You know what? And I'm short too. How I wish I were tall, as you walk away. Someone says you ugly, you say, yeah, you know I'm short too. Boy, I wish I was tall, as you walk away. This shows the insulter that you are aware of your perceived failings and that insults are a laughing matter. One of the best benefits, and ladies, you can do this too when somebody calls you fat, because especially if you know you're working on it. Especially if you know that you're fat, you know that you're overweight, and you know that you're in the gym or you've changed your diet and you're currently working on it in 90 days, you will not be fat anymore. Within 6 months, you will be fit and trim. But today you're fat. You can also say, you know what, and I'm bald head. I'm fat. Somebody, girl, you fat. Oh, you know what? I'm bald head too. Boy, I wish I had some hair. You just dismantled the person that's insulting you instantly. This is all going to be part of the way to identify sign language that I'm going to do. It's really going to be for men because women use a lot of sign language on men and women use a lot of sign language on women. But I want men to learn how to identify sign language and combat it. And one of the ways is what I'm explaining right here in this book, to basically insult yourself. I was going to use the way, have you guys ever, sidebar, have you ever seen the movie 8 Mile? So for those that remember the movie 8 Mile, it starred Eminem, rapper Eminem. And there's a scene in the movie 8 Mile where he was going through battles and he was battle rapping, right? And he was battle rapping and he had to rap Papa Doc. And so Papa Doc was like his antagonist in the movie, and he was the guy that he was going against. And do you guys remember the last battle rap and how Eminem defeated Papa Doc? Well, what Eminem did, and I'm gonna give you a little preview to what I was gonna explain during my sign language class. What Eminem did was when he went up to rap, he called himself everything that Papa Doc would have called him during his battle. Instead, he said, I am a white boy. I am trailer trash. You did fuck my girl. I'm still sitting here saying, fuck the free world. I know everything you're going to say about me, dude. You don't know anything about me, but I know something about you. Then he went and started talking about him. But before he talked about him during his segment of rapping, he dissed himself. He talked about everything that another person would have talked to him about to dismantle his rebuke. So when it was time, after he joked about himself and then turned around and joked about Papa Doc, when it was Papa Doc's turn to rap, he had nothing to say. He was fucking speechless. That is a way to combat insults. So for those that's reading this book or watching this show, you just got the quick and short dirty of the masterclass for the sign language and how to combat it. The I part, because that's what I was going to use, but I'm going to use some of this book as well. Insult yourself. That's what Eminem did in the movie 8 Mile. When somebody talks shit about you, talk shit about you too. Like, yeah, that's right. Now you just dismantled the person that's talking shit about you, and you can get to the core issues of whatever it is that you guys are having a discussion about. Remember that. It's a good tactic. All right. One of the best benefits of refusing to play the game by counter insulting this person is that you will irritate them more than if you had merely insulted them back. By counter insulting yourself, you will irritate the person that's talking shit more than you would have if you would have insulted them back. People like to insult to get a rise out of others. When you allow yourself to be angry from an insult, then you are allowing this person to manipulate and control you. You are letting them rob you of your tranquility. If you vent that anger, the odds are that you will do something regrettable all over a handful of words. So do not allow this to happen. A passage from the Disclosures advises, for every challenge, remember the resources you have within you to cope with it. Provoked by the sight of a handsome man or a beautiful woman, you will discover within you the contrary power of self-restraint. Faced with pain, you will discover the power of endurance. If you are insulted by somebody, you will discover patience, and in time, you will grow to be confident that there is not a single impression that you will not have the moral means to tolerate. Impressions are the key of emotional self-control. Emotional self-control. You cannot control what another person says or does, but you can control your impression of it. But how? How do you do that, you ask? I'm glad you asked. Let us apply a good example of this. Everyone has at some time in life, or maybe even right now, some of you guys, right, had an offensive friend. Someone who speaks their mind no matter what, and long ago you learned not to be offended by them. You've probably found yourself saying, this is just the way he or she is, and thought nothing of it when that person directed their offensive wit towards you. Why can't you take that view for everyone? Not just the person that you hang around that always talks shit. You got that talk shit friend that talks shit about everything. So when they talk shit about you, you just forget about it. It's no big deal. Well, why can't you take that same approach and apply it to everyone? Stoicism teaches us that people do what they personally think is right, just like you do. By reason, it stands that taking offense from another's ignorance is a waste of energy. That person is just doing what they think is right. A Stoic is concerned only with what they can control, and you can't control another person. You can only control yourself. As an exercise, use the same notebook that you utilized in the previous chapter, or simply get a new one, and whenever you feel an emotional decision coming on, then write it in the notebook the first chance that you get. If you let the emotion control you, write that down too. Write what you did. Keep track of your emotional decisions for 1 full month, taking time on Sunday of every week to read what your emotions made you do. Be sure to include the scenario such as this. My manager, right? Let's call him Bob. My manager, Bob, said my production levels were low. And before I could stop myself, I blurted out, we need to hire more people. There's too much work. Now I'm worried about my job, right? Because you blurted that out. The first thing that you are doing to notice is that these emotional decisions, when viewed from the safety of Sunday and distance, now seem to be quite embarrassing, right? Because now that you got some time to think about it, you should reflect on what you could have done better at the time. Seeing the paper proof of how deadly emotions can be for us is an excellent way to drive the lesson home. If you want to be happy, then you're going to need to learn to control emotions' influence. It's as simple as that. A trite but effective way of lessening the hold of emotion upon you is simply counting before you respond. Slowly count, you guys, from 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count to 1 to 5 in your mind instead of simply saying the first thing that comes to your mind. Your notepad has already shown you how much damage impulse can do. Even if an emotional outburst doesn't cost you a job, it still taxes you with guilt, embarrassment, and more. How liberating, then, will it be once you have learned to control your emotions? Stoics feel that emotions, just like anyone else, Stoics feel emotions like anyone else. But we have learned the importance of impressions. This means that insults and critiques cannot harm you. This means you can control your temper. It can even be applied to grief, ladies and gentlemen. You know, grief is one of the, have you all heard of the 5 stages of grief? It can even be applied to grief, anger of which is one of them. A Stoic knows that nothing belongs to them but their control and their reason. Even our own bodies are not owned. Rather, they are simply borrowed for a brief time in this world on earth. Thus, when somebody dies, they are not lost per se, but only returned. This is in accordance with nature. Most importantly of all, you need to understand your emotions if you want to be able to control the impressions that you take from various things that life throws at you. For instance, maybe you are not a morning person, right? Maybe you're not, I'm a morning person. Sexually, I'm a morning person. Yeah, I get it. You can get it in the morning, right? But maybe you're not a morning person. But I wake up happy every morning. But some of you guys just wake up fucking grungy and sad, and you got a shitty facial expression in the morning. You know, maybe you're not a morning person, and people really irritate you if you haven't had a few cups of coffee, or you didn't sleep well. Anyone unfortunate enough to wake you up in the morning is going to receive an earful. You can't seem to help it. Think about it logically then. You know that you're vulnerable to your emotions at this time. If you live with someone, tell them that you know this and ask that they try to avoid communication in the morning. You know that your emotional state is hard to control at this time of the day in the morning. So tell them this. You can surely reach a compromise that helps you to avoid being a slave to your morning temper. By first recognizing the impact of our emotions and then analyzing the reasons behind them, we start to develop better control of them. Maybe you become angry or nervous whenever someone at work implies that you aren't pulling your own weight. So, what is behind this anxiety? Do you worry that you aren't doing enough? If so, is it better to be angry or nervous, or should you instead try to find ways to be more productive? Stoics know that emotional responses are destructive. Emotional responses are destructive. Emotional responses are destructive, ladies and gentlemen. Due to the intensity of emotion, people tend to take the lazy approach by simply riding that emotion to wherever it takes them instead of trying to figure out why they feel so passionately about the issue. It can cost you friendships, jobs, and more. Properly scrutinized, however, understanding our emotions and controlling the impressions which we take from them can make us grow. If you know that certain music depresses you because it reminds you of a person, or it might you not try to associate new memories with it, or simply abstain from making yourself sad? If your commute to work makes you angry and ramps up your road rage, ladies, do you know why that is? Does the standstill pace of the traffic make you feel powerless? Are you truly just angry because you didn't leave the house earlier? Are you really mad that you just didn't leave earlier? You got road rage now, sidebar. You got road rage, you out there pissed off, you honking at people and shit, you're beating on your steering wheel, you're frustrated, you're slamming on the brakes and shit, you're getting ready to almost get in a goddamn accident, and you mad at everybody else, but you're not mad at yourself because you didn't leave earlier. Something that you could have controlled. Something that you could have controlled. You should have woke up earlier. You should have got dressed sooner. You should have left the house before you did. But because you failed to do what you should have done, you now mad at everybody else. It is important to know why we do the things that we do. A Stoic wants to control everything within their power to control, and you will never master your emotions if you do not understand them. While it is often painful to analyze your own thought process, it is still necessary. Otherwise, we become slaves of our own emotional, rash decision making. So as a conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, to this chapter, we would recommend that you take your emotional decision notebook and start going through the items that are listed. Write down what you feel is at the core of the issue. Why do you think that you respond in this way? Be brutally honest with yourself, because this is very important. And that's another thing, sidebar, being brutally honest with yourself. You know, there's nobody else in the room. There's no one else what trips me out is people who lie to themselves. It's like, I see you lying to the world, but you lying to you too. It's crucially important that you're brutally honest with yourself. If you do not understand why you get emotional, then how can you hope to control the impressions that you take from other stimuli in life? If you can't control your emotions, how the fuck are you going to control the other important things in life? If you can't get a hold of your emotions, how will you be able to wrangle the other important things in life? It is difficult, but you need to be honest with yourself. Learn to observe emotions with the almost clinical interest. Distance yourself. Count to 5 before responding. Counting might seem like baby steps, but until you understand why you are behaving as you do, the best thing that you can do is to delay your responses. Just delay them. Once you understand your emotions, once you understand your emotions, then your control over them will become easier over time. And you can count on that. And ladies and gentlemen, that is chapter 6, all done. You know, it's an interesting, he mentions, counting might seem like baby steps, but until you understand why you're behaving as you do, the best thing that you can do is to delay your responses. I don't know how many times I've told people, listen, just put a pin in it. Put a pin in it. Instead of responding to how you feel right now, why don't we talk about it later? Let's discuss it later. Hey, Lady Nova. Lady Nova. Lady Nova, instead of us, I just told you something that you don't want to hear. Lady Nova, I just said something that pissed you off. Lady Nova, you just discovered some information that was unexpected. And instead of responding to it right now, which most people will want you to do, they're going to try to bait you. They're going to try to insult you. They're going to use sign. They're going to shame you. They're going to guilt you to talk about it now. Why don't you say, let's talk about this in an hour after I have had time to process the information I just got. Let's talk about it in 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what was that? Why don't we discuss this tomorrow morning over breakfast? We don't have to talk about it right now. How about we go to breakfast and get some yummy pancakes, a nice hot sizzling omelet, some orange juice, some bacon, sausage, some fresh fruit, and we can discuss this over breakfast tomorrow morning. We don't have to talk about it right now. Is it imperative that we talk about it right now? Is the world gonna stop if we don't discuss this right now? Lady Nova, if we don't talk about it right now, is everything gonna get shut down? Or can we discuss this tomorrow over breakfast? That way, between now and breakfast, I can process my responses. I can think about how I'm gonna talk. Because if we talk about it right now, my emotions are going to take control and get the best of me. Shout out to the people who know that time delay helps when dealing with calamity. I appreciate you. Heather Wood says she does it all the time to her son. Hey, you know what? Let's just talk about this after dinner. Why should we discuss this on an empty stomach? Let's eat, because that food, I'll whip something up real quick, and then we can have this discussion while we eat or after we eat. How about that? Let's vacuum the house up. You fold the clothes, I'm a vacuum and dust, and then we can both put the clothes away, and then once the house is clean, we can talk about this. You know, ladies and gentlemen, that is senior level, advanced level, graduate student level emotion control. That's not no freshman shit. That's not freshman class. That's not undergraduate emotion control. We're talking right now about master and doctor degree level emotion control. That's what we're discussing right now. Ladies and gentlemen, just think about that the next time you hear something or you think about something. Count to 5 if nothing else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then think about adding a delay before you respond. It'll make you a better person. It absolutely will make you a better person. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Please like this video, share this video. Please share it on your Facebook page, and please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please join the SR Army. It really, really helps me to continue to do this as often as I do. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, reading is the way to expand your mind and your bank account. I'm gonna run the contest real quick. Let's go ahead and, where we at? Let's close the entries and pick a winner. Miss Drea is the winner. Shout out to Drea. Uh-oh, I should have closed that. Shout out to Drea. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Tune in next time on the next chapter of Rich People Read. Hold on one second. Complete. And we are done for the day. I appreciate you guys. Remember, reading is the way to expand your mind and your bank account. And my friends, you are dismissed.
Yeah. Escucha. Miedo en tu habitación, solo los 2 segundos que hay que detener. Porque si no siento tu voz o tu olor, te extraño y te quiero ver. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas. Haces falta, bebé. Dime qué tengo que hacer pa' tenerte de una vez, pa' no poderte perder. Dulce, eres mi bombón. Te quiero melocotón. Por ti corro un maratón. Solo de la dirección. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. Pa' mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicar. Mira, somos perfectos, es algo indiscutible. Mi estilo y tu estilo no están disponibles. Solo soy sensible cuando te tengo porque eres irresistible. Tus labios combinan con tus ojos, porque eres tan pretty que hasta yo de eso miento. Chica, necesito mis anteojos. Quiero verte en noche hermosa de todos modos. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. A mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, Tú tienes pinta de indicada.